The NBA is a dog eat dog world, and when you have three young players at the same position trying to fight for minutes, somebody has to emerge victorious, and somebody's got to bite the bullet. So in today's Pelican School, we're gonna break that scenario down right now. Cue my music.
This is the Pelican Scoop with Jordan Kitchens, breaking down everything under the sun about your New Orleans Pelicans. Smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay on top of your Pels content. Now, running point, here's Jordan.
What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of the Pelican Scoop. I am your host with the most, Jordan Kitchens, and happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a good weekend. Because for me, it's been a very tumultuous, I don't even know if that's a word. Just know it's been a very, I can say disastrous. Some of these words are a little too big. And honestly, I'm not no grammar historian, so forget about that. Just know this week has been long for your boy. So I just want to talk a little bit of ball with my folks. So let me set the table for you guys today on today's episode. You have Brandon Boston Jr. You guys know him. Everybody knows him. He came in off the street from the Clippers. Well, the Spurs, Clippers kind of, he was with the Clippers. He got picked up from the Spurs, from the Pelicans. Came in at a time where your roster was decimated. Came in, carved a role for him out in the NBA, played great. Kind of hit a wall when he already exceeded his expectations, but came to a point where, I had to slow down a little bit. He's not a star player, but he was a guy that was a fringe NBA player that was able to change that whole narrative about him, show that he can put the work in. Not he wasn't putting the work in, but that he shows that he can develop and that he just needed the opportunity. And the Pelicans gave him that and rewarded him with a contract. And to go along with Brandon Boston Jr., you have a former first-round pick as recently as the 2023 NBA draft, the 14th pick out of a national championship winning team, UConn, and Jordan Hawkins, who has, to say the least, not met his expectations at all. Has fallen flat of his expectations. One, you could say, is a coaching. One is his degenerative back issue that he has, where he has a disc in his back that's just going to get worse over time. It's not going to get better. How can he mediate that? And honestly, when I looked up one of the ways that can, kind of help with this type of injury, it was relax on physical activity. The problem is his career choice is a physical activity, very physical activity. I don't think it gets, well, other than the National Football League, and I guess you could say, European soccer. Other than that, basketball is one of the most physically demanding sports out there. Simple as that. So you have a young guy that you have put resources into. Everybody thought it was Willie because Willie didn't play him his rookie year. He blows up in that Dallas game, and Willie just sits him cold for the rest of the year. Did Willie mess up his confidence? And the reason why I can't truly get with that Jordan Hawkins, Willie messed his confidence up, because Jordan Hawkins played a lot last year. He played a lot. It wasn't like his rookie year, Willie was not playing him at all. Granted, you had a lot more health last year. So in the season where you saw Brandon Boston Jr. Take advantage of his situation, and the next guy who I'm going to mention after this take advantage of his situation, you see Jordan Hawkins damn near get the same amount of time, was starting a lot this year, just did not get there. We're going to break all the stats down, trust me. Just setting the table up. So you have Jordan Hawkins. And then you have your second-round pick from the 2024 NBA draft at the same guard position, and Antonio Reeves out of Kentucky. Comes from a great pedigree, Kentucky guard. Even though he didn't start his career at Kentucky, he ended his career at Kentucky. This is a guy that came, I'm pretty sure he was D2 or a low D1 ball, came from, I think it's like Cleveland State or something like that. So this guy was able to work his way up to Kentucky. Like, he was one of Coach Cal's last players at Kentucky. So he comes from that type of pedigree. And honestly, he showed signs of it this season, especially in a season that was lost, in a season where he's getting, Bruce Brown getting minutes over him, Jordan Hawkins getting minutes over him. At a certain point, Brandon Boston Jr. was hurt with his ankle. What's going on with Brandon Boston Jr. in his ankle? But Antonio Reeves took advantage of his situation, right? We're going to break all the stats down, but now you're in a position where this year you might be drafting another guard. Either it's Con Knipple, Jeremiah Fears out of Oklahoma, even though Fears is more of a point guard, but still, with CJ McCollum. I mean, I guess you can not count DeJounte because there's no DeJounte for the foreseeable future. So I'm not even going to mention DeJounte. Yes, DeJounte's on the roster, but, between Jose, CJ, Herb, maybe Trey get some minutes at the two, there's only so many minutes to go around on this team. So one of these boys got to bite the bullet. So we're going to break this down right now. Start with Mr. Brandon Boston Jr. As you can see from the screen, he averaged 10 points this season on 3 rebounds, 2.2 assists, with 1.3 steals. He's a very active defender. Not saying that he's a lockdown, but he he gives effort on defense. He's gonna sit in that chair. He's gonna play the passing lanes. He's got like late hands with it. Like, he just come in like Herb Jones a little bit, not Dyson Daniels-esque, but more of Herb Jones type of with the steals. Like, just late, just read the passing lanes, jump, might jump something. That's what Brandon Boston Jr. gives you. Shooting 43% from the field, love it. 35% from three, love that. At 3.3 attempts, love that even more. 78% for the free throw line, very serviceable. Only averaged 2 free throws a game, so he's not really getting to the line. He's not attacking downhill, but also it's not like the ball was always in his hands to be like, all right, Brandon, go score. Also, what Brandon Boston Jr. adds to the team, he gives you a lot more ball handling than a Jordan Hawkins, who feels like he's scared to dribble. Felt like anytime there was like a press, somebody trying to press you in the backcourt, they running some type of full court press, Hawkins he did not want nothing to do with that. He's one of those guys. And Antonio Reeves, he can give you a little. He can handle the ball too, not as well as Brandon Boston Jr., who has a little bit more point guard in him. But Antonio Reeves' handle, I respect his handle way more than I respect Jordan Hawkins' handle 10 times out of 10. Now, out of the three, Brandon is way more versatile. You can plug and play Brandon in various different spots. And honestly, I think Brandon has a way better IQ than all three of them, because I guess, he has been in various different systems until this point, and he actually found a way to stick in the NBA. It was looking like his window of opportunity to be in the league was closing. He found a way to take full advantage. I really want you guys to just drill this in your head when I say he took advantage of his situation. Brandon Boston Jr. literally came into this team when you maybe had 8 players available. I'm talking the Pelicans were decimated by injuries in late December, January. Y'all know this. Brandon Boston Jr. came in and took full advantage. It was honestly a bright spot. It was like, damn, this man, maybe David Griffin might not be that bad. Maybe Griffin still got an eye. Maybe Griff still got his fastball. Obviously, he don't. He throwing a 87-mile-per-hour meatball down the middle, and Joe Dumas Barry Bonds that thing right up out of here. Got him out the building. Got him out of here. But he still found Brandon Boston Jr. You got to give credit where credit is due. But if you're going to give a Griff some credit, you might have to take a little bit back because Jordan Hawkins. Let's talk about Jordan Hawkins' 2024 season. So Jordan Hawkins last year averaged 10 points on 2 rebounds on 1.1 assists. Basically no steals, no blocks, 1 turnover. Shot 37% from the field is god-awful. 33% from 3 for a shooter, a guy that was supposed to be the shooter, a guy that was supposed to come in and be the spacing for Zion, is god-awful at 5.9 attempts. So you're really shooting it, and you just can't make it. He's shooting 81% of the free throw line, but on 1.8 attempts. So he's not even going to the paint. He's not even driving. He's looking, y'all know how Jordan Hawkins play. He's looking to try and hit a pull-up midi or if an open 3. And then it's like he had open 3 attempts. It wasn't like Jordan Hawkins is sitting there getting double-team, triple-team, like they're focused on him. He was open. A lot of his shots were either open or good looks. He just can't make it. And I just can't wrap my head around how his field goal percentage is 37%. That is crazy. That is crazy for a guy that was supposed to come in and be a shooter. A guy that was supposed to come in and spread the floor. We're not talking this is 3-point percentage. We're talking his field goal percentage. 37%. Brandon Boston Jr., 43. I'm not sitting there acting like Brandon Boston, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander putting 50% from the field. No. 43 on 10 points, percent from the field on 10 points. 37% on 10 points. And he gives you nothing else but scoring. He does not going to play like a defense. He's way too small. He doesn't really have a handle. And it's scary. It's scary because, yeah, you could have used the excuse of Willie. You could have used the excuse, oh, well, Willie's not playing him his rookie year. Willie killed his confidence. I can't use that excuse no more because he played so much last year. And yes, he was playing through the back spasm. He was playing through the degenerative back issue, which is scary again. And apparently the Pelicans knew about this because this is an injury he had at UConn. They knew about this. The doctors, they sit there and examine every bone in your body, every crevice. They check places you've never checked before. That's what these NBA, all these professional doctors do. They gonna check your body. So they knew about this issue. It already been stated they knew about this issue. I guess they didn't see it could have got this bad this fast. So, what does Jordan Hawkins need to play Summer League this year? I would like him to play Summer League because I don't think you proved nothing. I think your spot is up in the air. So if I was him, I would go play Summer League. But how does that dynamic work? Because I know for a fact Antonio Reeves is going to play Summer League. I know for a fact if they draft Con Knipple or one of these guys in the draft this year, they stay there, they're going to play in the Summer League. Maybe Brandon Boston Jr. might play in the Summer League. I don't know, man. What can Jordan Hawkins do to try and carve a role for himself out of these two guys? Now we can talk about Antonio Reeves. Now with Antonio Reeves, his season stats are going to be kind of skewed but he didn't really start playing till like the last 25 games of the season. Willie in the lost season, Willie still wasn't playing him. I mean, this guy was coming to and from Birmingham, like the Alabama Crimson Tide, even though they played in Tuscaloosa. But that boy was in Alabama way too much with the squadron last year. But he put that work in. So his season stats right now for Antonio Reeves, 6.9 points on 1.4 rebounds, no assists, no steals. 15 minutes, super low, 45% from the field, 39% from three. Those are real. 2.9 attempts, 80% from the free throw line. As you can see from this other screenshot, this is Antonio Reeves' last 5 games of the season. So April 6th versus the Milwaukee Bucks, he had 23 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Against Brooklyn on April 8th, he had 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. On April 10th at Milwaukee again, he had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. April 11th versus the Miami Heat, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And then the last game of the season versus OKC, he had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 1 block. I mean, those stats alone were better than any stretch Jordan Hawkins had all year. Any stretch he had all year. So let's keep going about Antonio Reeves because I really do like it. I was clamoring, y'all know I was clamoring for Antonio Reeves to play. Like, dude, Willie, stop putting Bruce Brown in. And it's looking like Bruce Brown's probably going to walk in free agency. So you traded Brandon Ingram for Bruce Brown and Kelly Olynyk and the Pacers pick, and Bruce Brown's going to be gone. Anyways, so this tweet comes from Pro Pels Talk Justin over there at Boot Cool Media. So yeah, you can see some about Bryson Graham, drafting Messi. This is not about Messi. We here for Antonio Reeves' last 10 games. I'm going to show you his averages. He averaged 12.6 points per game. Wow. 51% from 3. He had 51.2% from the field. Those stats are better than Hawkins and Brandon Boston Jr., unfortunately, but that's why it's so intriguing. I do think there's a role for Brandon Boston Jr., and I think Antonio Reeves is going to show a lot of people in the NBA world next year that he is a name to watch out for in the future. But it's really going to boil down to how they look in the Summer League and what type of momentum they can go into the season with. Because Hawkins, if I'm him, you got to find a way to get healthy. You got to find a way to shoot above 40% from the field. No ifs and buts about it. Because if these guys are more efficient, can play a little bit more defense, can do a little bit more than you on the court, why would I play you? You're a liability and you're inefficient. So it's really going to show, does Jordan Hawkins have a way to just turn it on, man? Can a light bulb flick on top of his head? I get it. You working on Willie Green, he ain't going to really put you in any position for you to really succeed at that level, but you just got to get out the mud. Like Trey Murphy, he got out the mud. He got it out the mud. Brandon Boston Jr., he got it out the mud. Antonio Reeves, when he finally got his opportunity, was getting it out the mud. Hawkins, you gave him enough time. I get it. His rookie year, whatever. This year, he played. He played a lot this year. And, even though he was hurt on and off the court, but when he was healthy and available, he wasn't really getting DNPs. He was playing. He was getting minutes. Certain games he even started and just could not do anything. Could not generate anything. And it's crazy because he had that really good game against the Pacers early in the year, and you really thought like, man, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. He had that really good game against the Pacers earlier and just died right there. Just died. But then it's like, can he turn it on? What does Antonio Reeves look like year 2? Or, does Brandon Boston Jr. emerge? So y'all get down in the comments. What do you guys think from these 3 fellas? Who can emerge? Who is just going to have to take the short end of the stick and, maybe get moved or just not play at all? Y'all let me know where your mind's at. Are you guys still on the Jordan Hawkins train, or that train has sailed? Even though trains don't sail, that train has taken off. That train is out of here. See ya, sayonara. So you let me know, man. And also, y'all enjoy y'all Friday. I've been your host of the Mo Jordan Kitchens, and I'm signing out. Peace.